Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to 5 Days with Bob Proctor on the Money Frequency. And today's Success Advisor Roundtable again. It's Tommy Collier here. I'll be your moderator, and we're going to get started. Welcome everyone who's joining us here on Zoom. It's great to see some new faces today and some familiar faces. And to everyone that's streaming in on YouTube, hey guys, we're glad you're here too. So in just a minute, we're going to get into some Q&A here with our Success Advisor panel. So if you're on Zoom and would like to ask a question live, you can go ahead and start virtually raising your hand. To do that, you just click on the reactions button in the bottom of your Zoom screen if you're on a computer, and then click on raise hand. And if you're on YouTube and would like to post some questions into the chat, we will start there today. So go ahead and start putting some questions in. While we wait for those questions to roll in, I'm going to turn it over to our success advisors here. We've got a familiar group back with us today: Melissa Posey, Marcelo Gonzalez, Bill Banta, and Mario Piccone. And today has really been all about decision. So why don't we have you guys all give us a takeaway or just something, defining in your mind that you've learned from Bob about decision over the years. And ladies first, Melissa, we'll start with you.
Hi, Tommy. Hi, everyone. It's so great to be here. Decision is one of my favorite lessons that Bob teaches. And I remember when I made the decision to join Bob. And very impactful for me. I was not in a good place in my life when I joined Bob, but here's what I know for sure. Like, I wanted a change in my life. Going after what you want and making some changes, it means that it's going to feel uncomfortable. Like, you've got to have guts to do it. You've got to be courageous. But here's the thing, guys. If you do not make a decision to make the changes and go after what it is that you really want, then things stay the same. And again, it's my favorite lesson. I listen to it over and over again. Like, that's what I recommend all of you do while the replays are available. Because again, going after what you want, it is not going to feel comfortable. The paradigm wants to keep you where you're at. So you just have to go for it. You have to take that leap of faith. And yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Melissa. So good. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go over to Marcelo next. Marcelo,
thank you, Tommy. I'm wonderful. Thank you for this opportunity. Following what Melissa says, I love the way Bob puts it. Making decisions is the common denominator of success, because people around the whole world are crying for employees, for business partners, for people who make decisions. So the ones who make decisions are always in the top, are always winning, are always going forward. And let me go a little bit deeper, Tommy, because I feel very privileged to have these wonderful people attending as Bob's students today. But there's one in here that I want to really call up. It's William Todd. He's one of Bob's closest students for many, many years. I know him. I study with him, the Mentoring Me, a wonderful book that he wrote with Bob's sponsorship. So I'm very glad he's here, because I've been working with him on decision making. And I've been studying what Bob teaches me, what Arach teaches me, what my team teaches me. And it's very exciting when you find out that when you make a decision, it doesn't matter if you don't have the resources, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the time, if you don't speak the language, everything lines up and you attract what you need. It's a magnet to make a decision. Thank you.
I love it. So good. Welcome, Todd. All right. Next up is Bill Banta. Hey, Bill.
Man, absolutely. Welcome, Todd, and to the rest of you. We're back here. It's just hard to believe that it's Thursday already. It's just crazy. It just feels like this week just started. I absolutely agree with Melissa. It takes guts. And every single one of us have to understand what that means to have guts. Bob said today, and this is absolutely in reference to decision, he talked about our divine nature. Massive for me, because I thought that's it. Do we go against our divine nature, and do we make the decision based on the divine nature, or do we let the paradigm, as Arash said, make the decision for us? And I think that was such a huge point. And I would challenge everybody today, when you finish this course this weekend, be vigilant on being determined to understand your divine nature and do nothing but feed your divine nature, because that in itself is a decision, and that is the thing that will empower you to take the next step. Only work from your divine nature and why you can succeed, never why you can't.
Yeah, so good. Thanks, Bill. All right, Mario, Mr. Picone, how are you?
Great. I'm great, Tommy. Thanks. Great to meet everybody again. Here's what really hit me today when Arash said, what idea is using you? Okay. It's either going to work in your favor, or it's going to work against you. So taking that idea, connecting it to that desire, which is going to connect to your goal that you're so emotionally connected to. And if you speak from your heart, you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to speak from the heart, not from the head, but from the heart, the decisions are easier to make. Okay, because you're going with the laws, you're working in their favor, and you're doing things that are natural to what it is that you really want to move towards. So I so encourage everybody to just like make a decision, whatever it is, just make it, right? And it'll propel you forward. So that was the big takeaway that I got today. Just connected me to so many things, going back to, like Melissa said that first day that Bob made me make that decision. So awesome stuff.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Mario. Yeah, really, we're all of us, all five of us here are here because Bob got us to make decisions. Many of them, probably. So, okay, we're going to get into some questions now. If you're here on Zoom and would like to ask a question live, please virtually raise your hand, or you can let me know in the chat that you want to ask a question live. If you don't know how to raise your hand, it's all good. We've got a really good question here on YouTube that we're going to start with from Julia. She says, if you are dreaming of something, how do you know you are capable of doing it? Who would like to start? Melissa, I saw you unmute.
Well, you may not know, but, going back to when I started, like, I didn't know, I didn't have that belief in myself, but here's what I did. I had the belief in Bob. Like, when I listened to Bob, it resonated with me. Like, I could feel it in my heart. And then I started doing the work. So that's my answer, Tommy, right there. You may not have the belief right now, but you will build the belief as you're doing this kind of work with repetition, right? Studying the right material, having the mentors that are going to stretch you, and having the accountability to keep you on track. That's how you are going to be building the belief.
And Tommy, the only way we can explain this is through theology or through science. If you want to go through theology, you will find in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Bhagavad Gita, that everything is already created. In the Old Testament, it says, in the book of Ecclesiastes, it says, there's nothing that will exist or that has existed that is not already here. So if you go to quantum physics, Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, many of the big ones that discovered, they didn't invent it, they discovered the laws of the universe. They always tell us everything is already here in one frequency of vibration or another. It's like Bob says, if you have a glass and you put sand in there, it's both sand, it's all energy, but in a different frequency of vibration. So once you accept, like Melissa says, that is in here, then you go through a process, through a mentorship that Bob gives you, and then you start believing. When you start believing, you start getting closer. And guess what? How you feel, like Bob said today, is vitally important, because that's what you're attracting. So you better find out how you can feel that is already here, what you want. That's it.
Yeah, so good. And Bob, I don't know if he said it this week, but he often says, you won't seriously want something that you're not capable of achieving. So I love that. It gives me a lot of reassurance. Okay, so there's another really good question here from Diudi, I think is how you say it, on YouTube. She says, I want to ask about how we should visualize. Should we visualize the big goal we have, or should we visualize the immediate thing we need to do for it happening smoothly for us, like the next step?
I would do both. I mean, visualize your big picture, and that first few steps is just your way towards that bigger goal. So absolutely, we always talk about, setting yourself up with that big C-level goal, right? That goal that's going to stretch you, get you uncomfortable. But we talked about this on Tuesday, I believe, on our call too, is about setting those smaller goals, which are your daily goals or your weekly goals, and visualize those in that process to get you to that big C-level goal. So I would say do both, absolutely.
And let me just add quickly, see yourself and visualize yourself doing it. Like, I don't know how many times I wrote that down this week alone. When Bob said, I wrote it down twice today, that he triggered something when he said, just be it. You got to be it. So as you visualize the actual thing, make sure that you're part of it. that you're actually doing it there with it.
Yeah, so good. Okay, let's go into some live questions. I see we have some hands up here. So first up, we're going to go to Jane. Hello, Jane.
Hello.
How are
Hi.
you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you
Wonderful.
doing?
So
Great
great.
to be here
Glad
yet
to have
again. I have a question. It's kind of a carryover from yesterday. Speaking about kind of getting derailed, I had been doing really super well with this material on my own, granted. But I got a couple of grants and I got an SBA loan. I brought in as much in 1 month as I had brought in a year, in September, I guess, from the end of August to the end of September. And then a couple of things happened. For one thing, I got sick. I get sinus infections. That kind of knocked me out for the count for a bit, and somebody whose opinion I care about, my son actually made a couple of really unkind comments. You know how it is when you're getting into this work, and that really bummed me out. I was surprised at how much I was affected by it, but I was thinking, isn't that pretty much bumping up against my own more paradigms? The things that stop me in life. So I'm just wondering, there have to be different approaches for different different paradigms. And do any of you have any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Mario?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a paradigm. Here's the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing, Jane, is that you're aware of it. Okay, that's the first beautiful thing. Okay, then it's a matter of what are you going to do to stay consistently on the right track and get you back onto that. Mm-hmm. So, you always hear Bob talk about Bill Gold when he says, if I want to be free, I got to be me, not the me that my kids want me to be, not the me that my spouse wants me to be. If I want to be free, I got to be me, but I got to get to know who me is. So if you've got that goal and you're emotionally connected to that goal and you're consistently studying, okay, you're going to move towards those things are just going to bounce back off you. But it's life, right? You're human. But here's what happened to you when you got all those SBA loans and all that income is when you got comfortable. Okay. And Earl Nightingale talks about, one of the biggest issues with a lot of people is they give into conformity. And that's what you're getting into. So you got to be aware of that. And you got to have that goal continue to drive you forward. That's what I would tell you. But you're on the right track.
Thank you. I have one other question. Sure. I'm really interested in becoming a success advisor. I think the work that you guys do is phenomenal. And, I seem to know a lot of these answers. Whether I'm implementing them 200% in my life may be another matter. I'm still human, and I know we're all human. But I was just wondering what your path was. How did you get to do that in particular?
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us all 5 of us have all been students, of course. We talked about this on Tuesday a little bit. I think it's really difficult to help somebody if you haven't really learned how to help yourself, and you're definitely on that journey, Jane. If I were in your shoes, I would contact your success advisor and I would sit down on a call with them, do a Zoom call or something, and discuss the process. And if it's what you want, make a decision and focus on it. Like Bob said today, and I love this, I wrote this down in bold letters. He said, you must be in harmony with your goal emotionally.
Right. Is
it just an idea or is it something that you really want? Sit down with your success advisor and lay out a plan to do it.
Right. Because as great as I know all the programs are great, and the consulting program I know is terrific. I don't think that's not exactly my path, though. I don't see myself becoming a consultant. So that's, I guess I need to talk to my success advisor and find out what are the other options for me that might be.
Do you know who your advisor is?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Why don't you go message them right now?
I don't want to miss anything else. I'll do it after.
Okay, deal.
I'd like to make just one thing really clear with everybody is the purpose of having the call with your success advisor is for them to really get to know you a little bit and find out what is a good fit for you, if there's a fit at all. Okay. Because if we don't know that, like you said, Jane, we've got various programs. One may be better than the other. One thing I know for sure, 100%, that there's no doubt in my mind that we can help you. It's just a matter of what is the best fit for you. So it's worth having that call.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jane.
Let me add on to that real quick for Jane, because Jane mentioned, studying this on your own and being successful studying it on your own. I mean, I was that person. I was the person. I would follow all the free events. I would read the books every time, I heard of a book title. I would order it on Amazon and, watch the YouTube videos and all that. And when I actually made the decision and jumped into a system and worked on myself, like what we do in the year-long mentoring program, my results changed like night to day. And the beautiful part is a lot of what was stored in my conscious mind, like all that studying I had done on my own, a lot of it really, the pieces came together when I had all the directives from Bob, right? Like when the material is intelligently directed, you've got the accountability, you've got the mentorship piece. So I'm excited for you, Jane, if you decide to take the next step, because you're going to see your results skyrocket. You will just take off.
Cool.
For
That's
sure.
great. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Jane. All right. Let's see. Next up, we're going to go to Eva. Here she is. Hello, Eva.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back slowly. I get familiar with asking questions here every evening.
Good.
So originally I had a question concerning discipline, but when I hear your talkings, I developed a question concerning decisions. When I take my own example, I'm here for the 4th time. I had been here in July, August, September, and October. And I see that my decision had to grow. What do you say about the decisions that have to grow first? Because in July, when I started with my first 5 days event, I thought, wow, booking a program is absolutely not possible. And now at the 4th time, the solution is very near, very close to me, and the decision had to grow. So, and you often recommend to make quick decisions or decide on within a millisecond or 30 seconds. What about these decisions that have to grow? Or do you think the decision was made in my subconscious and I didn't realize it?
I would say that you probably absolutely made a decision, and it just took the time for everything to gestate to make it possible, right? I mean, I see that all the time. I helped a lady yesterday that's been doing this for 2 years, and she just said, I know you want me to make a decision quick. And I said, you already made it 2 years ago. Like, you made it 2 years ago. You keep coming back. You're ready. I think, I honestly, I don't even think that's a question. I think you've made the decision. The better you get at being more firm, the faster the gestation period will come to close. And it doesn't matter if it's this or anything else. This is everything in your life, right? It's everything in your life. You'll take it from 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down to 3 or 4 days, 1 day, and then it'll start to be instant. And all things requisite of your goals will be right where you need it right then.
And the more you make decisions, Eva, the more confident you become. One of the main reasons, if not the only one, that people do not make decisions to get the car, to get the house, to go out with the girl, to go out with the boy, is because we think, or they think, that they don't have the resources or they're not going to achieve it. That's just a self-image issue. But once you become confident, guess what? You will understand that making a decision, it's all that it takes. There's no good decisions or bad decisions. There's just decisions. And what happened if your self-image took you to make a decision that later on you just got all filled up with doubts and you just didn't follow the process and you fail? Well, you make another decision. That's the beautiful part. You're always learning, and you must fail a few times before you win big. Check chapter number 9 on Think and Grow Rich, where it talks about persistent. Napoleon Hill says very well, there's a powerful force behind success that has to make you fail a few times before you win in the real way. Or like Winston Churchill said, Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. So just make the decision and follow the process, and you will enjoy, you will grow, and you will become a bigger person than you were a few weeks before.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Eva, thanks so much. We'll see you on the inside very soon. All right. Looks like Bill might have lost power. No, Bill, are you here?
I'm right here. I'm here.
Okay. Where did you go?
Yep, I'm here. I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden I was gone. I'm here though.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so next up we're going to go to Federico, and I believe he's going to ask a question in Spanish. So Marcelo, you're up. Federico, welcome.
Hola, gracias. Y yo quiero preguntar cómo me mantengo en mi decisión mientras sucede y mi paradigma me golpea durante todo ese tiempo.
Okay, I bet Federico knows very well English, but he just wanna bring it more from his core heart. But I'll say it in English so that Mario, Melissa, and Bill can give him a perspective. He wants to know how to stay in the right frequency once he makes a decision.
Good question.
So
it all goes back to your goal, right? It all goes back to being, like Bill said, that feeling, that emotional involvement with your goal. You gotta figure that out first. It's such a critical piece to give yourself that space to figure out what that goal is that you're emotionally connected to, and then follow people who've done it and that directive, that specialized knowledge in that direction that they have, step by step. Like, it sounds so simple when Bob always says, do exactly as I say, do exactly as he says. I mean, it's that simple. And you'll get your way, but don't kid yourself that you can do this all by yourself, guys. Okay, you want to make that quantum leap, you want to make those advancements, get into something that's going to lead you that way, whether it's this or something else. But like I said before, we can definitely help you. You got to make a decision and step inside.
Yeah, I also would add that in combination with just making the decision, the work to create that emotional involvement is work, right? It's the repetition, it's auto-suggestion, it's writing out your goal. It's the actual foundation of what Bob's taught all week. I mean, he's shown the steps. Arash has given us the steps at the end of every session. That is not by accident. Like, those are absolutely on purpose and by design to help you create, through repetition, an entrance into your subconscious mind where it takes ownership. And there will be a day, if you will do those small things compounded over time, that it will just become natural to be that person. And that emotional involvement becomes real. There's things in your life, Federico, that you wanted so bad, that you have in your life, that you just couldn't stop thinking about. Napoleon Hill calls that an obsession. You do the work through the exercises and what Bob's taught, you will learn to have that emotional involvement, and it'll just be natural. Yeah.
I'd like to add something else, Tommy. Anyone can try, or even anyone can make a decision. But what Federico said, it's very important. How do I stay in there? What Bill and what Mario said is very important, but there's something else. That's why you need a mentor, because a mentor will keep you up there. And every week, every 3 days, every few hours, you're going to be filled up with doubts because your image is not there yet. And you want to be willing to go back to the comfort zone, but the coach is going to tell you, hey, come here, cowboy. Go back to where you're supposed to be, because there's a gestation period, a few weeks, a few months, probably a whole year. But if you stay in there, the law of increase will put the energy that is required to make it happen. So that's why you need a mentor. That's another one of the million reasons why a mentor will do magic a lot bigger than if you just self-study.
Yeah. Got it, Federico?
Got it.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to go to another question on YouTube here really quick. Arash mentioned, this is from Yasprit. Arash mentioned to write the goal 100 times in this training. How does he stay connected with the goal while writing and keeping the emotions in it? What do you do when other thoughts enter your mind?
Well, I know what I do. I stay focused on what I'm writing, right? You stay focused on that goal and have that emotional connection. Well, whatever that goal is, you see yourself in it, right? You be it, like Bill said earlier on the call. And your paradigm will fight you, 100 times. Are you kidding me? I've already done it 20 times or 30 times. There's a purpose to it. And if you just keep that simple idea that the more you impress onto your subconscious mind, it's immoral, so it's going to accept that idea. And like Bill said, it's a process, right? These are proven things that work. You'll start to see it manifest into its physical form.
It's good.
And that's disciplining your mind too, right? Like Arash, I remember a long time ago told me, write out a sentence and then pause and visualize it. Make sure that you're not writing it out 100 times just to check the box that you've written it out 100 times because Arash said. Like, take your time on this and be disciplined with where you're at and what you're doing. And as you're writing out that sentence, then visualize that. And then, of course, you know, the emotional involvement has got to be there. Like when I'm doing my writing like that, I've got a smile on my face the whole time. You know, I don't have my computer handy. My phone isn't buzzing. Like, this is a time for me. And yeah, to me, that just comes with disciplining the mind and being present where you're at while you're doing that writing.
Yep. Okay, another good question from YouTube here. There's a little paradigm in here, I think maybe. How do you suggest we first start out our morning routine to visualize the things we want and then add in the emotion to bring it into the subconscious? I won't always have time to do Bob's meditation.
Well, I think you bring the emotion in immediately, like immediately. I don't think you have to overthink it either. You just lock in, pick the picture, and start the process. Auto suggestion is such a game changer, right? Especially first thing in the morning. And if you did it in front of the mirror and you just looked into one eye or the other eye or both eyes, it doesn't take very long before you can feel it. You have those goosebumps, right? And if you'll go talk into the windows of your soul, you'll get it and it'll happen quick. I highly promote that you do that very first thing in the morning and do it quick so that you're not distracted by Facebook and the phone ringing and emails and the kids. Go immediately and do it first thing.
And you know what? Go ahead, Mary or Marcelo.
And don't accept the idea that I don't have the time. And we all have the same 24 hours. Yeah. You need to understand that if you're not willing to invest in yourself 1 hour a day, 1 hour out of the 24 is a 24th of your whole day. If you're not willing to invest that 1 hour, then you don't deserve to win. So what you really need to do is to understand that you need to raise your level of awareness and become disciplined. And to become disciplined, you need to understand how Bob explained us what sacrifice is, leaving something of lower value for something of a higher value. So you might have to let go the Netflix series for 1 hour, or probably sleeping for 1 hour, or probably going to drink the beer with your friend for 1 hour, but you need to let go something that is very cool, but it's not as cool as winning. So that's it. Just discipline yourself.
Yeah, none of us that have made anything happen with this material have the time to do it. Nobody has the time. We've all made the time. And it's not a lot of time, like Marcelo said. Okay. From Jamie on YouTube, can a goal be accomplished after 32 years, a dream that has never died?
I'm going to say something about that. I learned that lesson early. When I first joined the company, I remember being at a seminar and Bob showed me his goal card. And then sometime later, he got up on stage and he talked about how many years he'd had that goal. And it hit me. You don't change the goal. You just keep changing the date until you become the person who can achieve it. And it was just the most incredible thing to hear him talk about. He was in the pattern of growing. And that goal was so big that it took a few years to happen, right? And he said, the better you get at understanding becoming that person, then you start closing the gestation period. So I think after 32 years, if you still have that inside of your heart and it's that real to you, absolutely. I would go after it with everything you have. I'd be decisive. I would take what we've taught you this weekend, get with your success advisor and dial it in so that you have a very narrow, focused range to go after, and you'll probably do it in just a few short months or a year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Mehdi is back. Hey, Mehdi.
Hi there.
How are you?
Doing good. Thank you for having me again. I really appreciate it. Can you hear me?
Yes. What is your question today?
The thing is, because since I know Mr. Proctor, since I learned the secret, since 2006, 2007. I don't exactly remember. And I applying it over and over. I'm sober because of the using the secret, for my drinking. I believe in it, and I right now I'm directly through the YouTube, 24/7 your channel, PGI channel. I'm listening over and over, going to be rich or everything you name it. And right now I feel I talk different, I act different, I do a lot of different things because of this program. And even indirectly, I'm referring everyone. I talk to them. I say, hey, how this get this from? I share the YouTube for PGI with them. As indirectly, I'm sending friends, family, anyone I know, almost 6-7 people a day minimum. And because I'm attracting people when I'm using this program. And my thing is, I know you guys have an affiliated program. My question is, if I want to be one of your student and use one of your coaching program, can I be part of your affiliate? And while I'm, earning, while I'm learning, I'm earning too, that I can pay for my tuition with PGI.
It sounds like you want to become a consultant, Mehdi.
No, I'm saying because I have a passion about what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm saying I have a passion about it. Please help me, advise me. I'm great to listen. Thank you.
Yeah, you want to talk to your success advisor probably about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I love helping people. That's why.
Yeah, that's a good question for your advisor. Go ahead, Mario.
If I could just chime in there, Mehdi, if you're doing all that work and you've been watching YouTube all that time and you know this information probably on a very intellectual level, you can probably say it in your sleep. It hasn't gotten into your subconscious yet because you'd get the results that you want. You'd have that money and so on and so forth. So it's so critical for you to actually talk to somebody that can direct you properly, and that success advisor will do that. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mehdi. Okay, well, we are, it is that time. We're going to wrap it up here, you guys. So thank you, everyone who came and asked amazing questions, and success advisors. So grateful for all of you, as always. And we'll see you guys all back here at 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We're going to have a full hour Q&A with Arash tomorrow. So it's going to be a really good day. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you soon, everyone.